कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात् तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वाहा गंगा सरस्वतीरेव तयोषणी नर्मदा जलधिः स्नापितोऽसि मया देव अतः शान्तिं प्रयच्छ मे हरि ओं शान्ति 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 हरिः ओं. Before we go into tonight's katha, we take the blessings of Shri Ganesha, Ma Saraswati, from all of our gurus. We take blessings from Prabhu Shri Ram and Sita. For us to understand and to decipher such a scripture that has high Vedantic principles, we need the blessings, the guidance of Ganapati, the one who makes us think, the one who unlocks our abilities. In life, we all have a mind. And if we don't know how to use this mind, if we don't know how to put wisdom in our mind, we can be founded with so many problems in life. With just a little bit of wisdom in your life, you can make your life problem-free. This is Ganesha. We bow to Ganapati. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvighnam Kuru me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Om Sarvamangalamangale Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Ambike Pujantam Ram Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakam Vande Vameki Kokilam. Today is Tuesday, a day that is called Mangalvar, a day that we honor Sri Hanumanji. We should count ourselves so blessed and fortunate that on the day of Mangalvar itself, we are bowing to the one who is the very epitome of auspiciousness. In a world where inauspiciousness seems so lost, Hanumanji, we need your strength, we need your bal, and we need your buddhi, your intelligence. Shantam Shashvatam Apramiyamanagam Nirvana Shanti Pradham Brahma Phanindra Sejamanisham Vedanta Vidyam Vibhum Ramakyam Jagadishwaram Surgurum Maya Manusham Harim Vandeham Karunakaram Raghuvaram Bhupalachudamanim Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunataya Nataya Sitaya Patiye Namaha Sitaya Patiye Namaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari. There is joy in this beautiful song that says when we have the name of Rama on our lips, Who can defeat us? What problems can affect us when one steadfastly puts the name of Rama on their lips? Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram kahiye, jahi vidhi rakhe Ram, tahi vidhi rahiye. Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram kahiye, jahi vidhi rakhe Ram, tahi vidhi rahiye. Sita Ram, Sita Ram, मुख में हो राम नाम, राम से वो हाथ में, मुख में हो राम नाम, राम से वो हाथ में, मुख में हो राम नाम, राम से वो हाथ में, मुख में हो राम नाम, राम से वो हाथ में, तू अकेला नहीं राम की साथ में, तू अकेले नहीं जाए राम तेरे साथ में। विधि का विधान या चलाओ सही, जाए विधि का तेरा काहे विधि रही। सीता राम, सीता राम, सीता राम कहिए, जाहि विधि राखे राम, काहे विधि रहिए। यह अभिमान तो फिर मन में नहीं, यह अभिमान तो फिर मन नहीं आएगा। भोग प्यारे वात्सल की जो श्री राम जी को भाएगा, भोग प्यारे वाली जो श्री राम जी को भाएगा। हर आश त्याग शुभ राम तन त्यागी, जाहे विधि राखे राम, ताहि विधि रहिए। सीता राम, सीता राम, सीता राम कहिए, जाहि विधि राखे राम, ताहि विधि रहिए। जाहि विधि राखे राम, ताहि विधि रहिए। जाहि विधि राखे राम, ताहि विधि रहिए। राम श्री राम, श्री राम, श्री राम। To the most beloved feet of Sri Rama or Janaki Mata, I bow down and I give my naman, my respects to our honorable Pandits in our midst, so many to call. The head Pandit, I would like to say, Pandit Chunilal Ji, my Gurudev who's present here, Pandit Shekhar, my parents, my mother and my father, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, and most importantly, our sons and daughters of this most beautiful ancient Dharma. I humbly welcome all of you with a very warm Suswagatam. Suswagatam. Swagatam means a divine welcome. When you find your place in an arena, in a territory where the Murti's energy has been radiantly been everywhere, when you find yourself in such a place, know you are blessed. Know God has placed you there. Tonight is Tuesday, and last night we saw the beautiful events of Ayodhya Kand. And tonight we will deal with Aranya Kand. Now it is a correct statement when any Pandit says that he could spend respectively 7 nights and 7 days on each Kand. I can actually spend 7 nights on just this Aranya Kand by itself, by how extremely vast and huge and how much gems of Vedantic principles are within this book. But I only have 1 hour and 15 minutes. So let us put on our glasses. Let us see the feet of Rama. Where has Rama walked? This is the beautiful story of Bharatesh. And for tonight's discourse, we will look at 2 scriptures. The first scripture is the Sri Valmiki Ramayan, and the second scripture, the Sri Rama Charitramanas. The original author of this book is Sri Valmiki. He was actually present there at that time when Rama was living. So he saw Rama, he saw Sita, and he knew he's a primary source document for our beloved Rama. And why do we refer to Valmiki Ramayan? For historical facts. When we want to know what exactly did Rama do, Valmiki is the man to look at. Because he is a sage. A sage is someone who will see life as it is. So Valmiki ji, he has to record the events. He will not sugarcoat anything. He will put it as it is because he's a sage. He doesn't have any respect nor high or nor low. He sees life how it should be. And for Tulsidas Ramayan, for the rhythm, for bhasha, for emotion, for poetry, we will look at the Tulsidas Ramacharitamanus. Because Tulsidas, he is a master of poetry. A painter will take a paintbrush and make a beautiful painting. The person who makes the murti, he will take a stone and he will carve it to create the perfect murti. But Tulsidas and Valmiki, using the oceans of India, using the mountains of India, using the land of Bharatesh, they have crafted the beautiful Rama Leela, this Ramayana. And our Aranyakand begins with a very popular event where Sita Mata, Lakshman or Ram, they have entered into this deep forest. And all of the Ramacharitra-manas, however many versions there are, the name of each Kanda still remains the same. We have Aranyakand. Aranya in Sanskrit means the forest. This is where Sri Ram enters into the forest. And a very beautiful philosopher says that what is God doing in a forest? God coming in a human body. Why doesn't he go to a city? Why does he go to a place where there is greenery, where there is waters? I think this is where Rama resides. Why? Because the forest is the place where you will become closest to God. Why? In a forest, a lion won't say, oh, you are a sage, I won't eat you, or you're a child, I won't eat you. A lion doesn't have any sort of distinguishment. So when Rama enters into this forest, it is stated that he enters into this samsara, this world that we all live in. And Rama entering into this samsara, this world, what do we find in this world? We find beasts, we find lions, we find jaguars, we find snakes, we find so many things. And in the forest, what do we find? We find fresh air, we find water, we find elements. So the samsara, there is good and bad, there is positive and negative. So Rama going into the forest, he shows, oh my putra, this samsara is a place for what? Samsara hai ek naviya, sukh dukh dho kinare hai. The beautiful author says, sukha or dukha, in this samsara, we will find good and we will find bad. The Ravana will come in 1 second and the Shabari will also come in 1 second. This is how this samsara plays. This world that we all live in is very important that we know. It has been built upon cosmic laws and rules and regulations. Like one man, Newton, he saw an apple falling from the tree and he discovered gravity. But where was gravity before the apple fell? Gravity was always there. It was always there. He just saw the apple fall and he says, oh, there is gravity. But when God designed this world, he designed this world with many rules. The first rule that we have, the law of bhakti, devotion. That in itself is a law. Then we have the law of karma, that's action. Then my favorite one, the law of sankalp. Sankalp means manifesting, as today we know, law of attraction. Then we have the law of knowledge, gyan. Gyan is the highest law that we can ever have. If these laws didn't exist, nothing in this world could happen. If your parents didn't love each other, you would not be here right now. If your parents didn't engage in the karma, you would not be here right now. So too, if certain laws and rules weren't put in place, this Ramayana also could not have happened. You know, you're all breathing right now, your breath is going. That in itself is an action. It's an action, right? The body is performing it. You're involuntarily performing it. So we have to understand that this Ramayana took place at a different time, where there was different laws. We didn't have cell phone back then with Rama. You couldn't send an email to Rama. Rama, please come to my, you have to send a letter. This was the time that Rama used to live in. So we have to put our mind to the scene. So here, Rama, Sita, or Lakshmana, they enter into the forest and they meet certain sages. They meet Sharavangha Muni. And when Rama entered into the house of the sages, he unstrung his bow as a certain of courtesy. I'm going into the respective home of these sages. I must go unarmed. If I go and I go with a bow, they think that I'm going to kill them. So he unstrung his bow. He took the blessings of all of the sages, and the sages, they recognized that this was no ordinary being that was there with them. And they were waiting for a very long time for Rama to come. Many of the sages, they were doing spiritual practices for many years, and they were waiting for Rama to come inside of this forest. Sri Rama took the leave of all of the sages, and he proceeded deeper into the forest, deeper into the forest. As they are walking, Rama, Lakshmana, or Sita Mata, they hear a huge voice coming from the heavens. Are, what are you two sinners doing with bow and arrow with that beautiful woman there? And Rama and Lakshmana, they heard this voice and they want to know, this is some Rakshasa who has said this, and they're immediately on guard looking for who has said this. And in an instant, a powerful Rakshasa who looks like death itself came, and he grabbed Sita Mata and he ran away from a distance. And Rama, he saw this, and what did he do? He took his bow very quick and he shot 7 golden arrows, and he almost killed Virada. He didn't fully kill Virada, and Virada was lying there. That was the demon, the Rakshasa's name, that took Sita Mata. And Sita Mata, she was shaking. Hey, somebody just tried to abduct me. The first time somebody attempted to abduct her. This was the demon known as Virada. She was shaking and trembling. I was just abducted. And Virada was lying on the ground with 7 arrows within him. He was almost losing his breath. Then Rama came and says, Virada, what are you doing here? How dare you try to abduct Sita? And it was at that moment Virada gained back his actual form, and he told Rama, oh Rama, I was given a shrap by one of the gods to come into this forest as a demon and to be killed by you. So that Rama, that is what has happened here. So Sita Mata, her heart is palpitating after being kidnapped. And Lakshmana, he tells Rama, oh Rama, look at how many unfortunate events are happening in our life. First, you lose your kingdom. Second, we hear Dasharatha has died. Now Sita Mata is almost kidnapped. Luckily, we got her back. So many things are happening in your life that is misfortune, that there's all bad luck. What is this happening, Rama? Lakshmana is telling to Rama. And Rama says, I do not know what is happening. And this is a point where Lakshmana turns to Rama and says, oh Rama, I am very sad that Dashrath Maharaj has died. But today, after I saw how you have killed this demon Virada and you have protected Sita and Lakshmana, I regain my consciousness, I regain my confidence that Dashratha is still alive. Lakshmana says, "Oh Rama, for me, Dasharatha is no more dead. He is alive. He is standing in front of me right now. Oh Rama, from today you are my Dasharatha." And this is where Sanatana Dharma is so beautiful. Pita ahamasya jagato mata. Bhagavan Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I am the father of this universe. Tvameva mata chat pita. Pita means father. So you can see God as a friend, as a mother, as a father, as a sister. You can build any relationship with God. And here Lakshmana, he invokes the fatherly aspect of God. Are Rama, from today you are my father. So Rama, when he hears this word, sweet words. When we hear sweet words today, our heart stops a few beats. Rama hears these words and his heart stops a few beats. Look at how Lakshmana is so great. He sees me as Dasharatha. So do you know what Rama did at that moment? He says, Lakshmana, come. And for the rest of the journey, Rama puts Lakshmana in front to guide them. Why? Because it is in this chapter that all of the sages they meet. So Rama is thinking, this Lakshmana thinks I am a father. And for me to do the best as I can as a father, I want to put Lakshmana in front because I want him to meet all of these sages. Sharabhanga, Atri Muni, and all of these sages that Lakshmana will meet to gain the most. So this is how Rama, the fatherly aspect, thinks. So they meet with Sutikshna Muni, they meet with Sharabhanga. And all of the rishis, they gathered just like how you're gathered here. And Rama came and they're all bowing to Rama. And they say, oh Rama, in our life, we have never asked for anything. But today we want to ask for one thing from you. And Rama smiles and he says, okay, what do you want? Tell me, what do you want? The sage says, we have been performing our yajnas in this forest. And these demons and these rakshasas, they are bothering us. They are tormenting our yajna. We as Brahmanas, we have the power to kill them. We have spiritual power to kill them, but why would we waste our precious spiritual power that we have gained for so many years to kill them? Oh Rama, you are a Kshatriya. Please, it is your duty. Please, Raksha Karo, Pahimam, help us. This is the request of the sage. And this is another important point that the Ramacharitra brings out for the entire world to look at. God will respond to you in how you go to him. Ravana went to the Lord with hate, he got back hatred. Here, the sages, they went to the Lord with a request, with a fulfillment, a pious deed, a pious duty to fulfill. And Rama said, okay, no problem. That has to. Don't worry, oh sages. I have come here to the forest to do that exact thing. And don't worry, I will kill all of the Rakshasas. Now Sita Mata, she hears this. Rama promises to kill these demons, and she's thinking in her mind, how could Rama kill? She's thinking in her mind, there are three things that can lead to a man's downfall. She's thinking in her mind, Sita Mata, Janaki Mata, three things that can lead to a man's downfall. One is false speech. So she knows in her mind that Rama, he is Satyovratan. He is the very embodiment of truth. He will never tell a lie. And even if he has to tell a lie, he will never unconsciously, blindfully tell a lie. So she says, that's perfectly fine. The second quality that can lead to a man's destruction is copulation, infidelity. But Rama, he is the very personification of dharma. He only respects me, he only loves me, and he only cares for me. Then the third one she thought in her mind. The third one, this one could lead to your problem. Cruelty without enmity. That is the third one. If you kill someone and there's not a strong enough feeling, enmity, then you have been committing a huge blunder. This is what Sita Mata is thinking in her mind. And she goes up to Rama. She pulls Rama by the corner. Rama, there are three things that can lead to a man's downfall. One is Satya, one is cooperation, and the third one, I know you will never do the two, but the third one, you just promised 21 people that you're going to do it. And Rama skins his eyes and he says, oh Sita, you are like Dharma Patni itself. You are like the embodiment of Dharma. You are thinking far beyond. You're not just thinking about this forest, but you're thinking about the universe. And Ram, he bows to the words of Sita. Hey Sita, what can I say to you? I have made this promise, but Raghu Kula Riti Sadachari Hari. Oh Sita, from today I promise, I will not kill a single demon in your presence. So from this moment onwards, Sri Rama never kills any demons in the presence of Sita Mata. Always he puts Sita away. And even if Sita Mata was on the battlefield itself, Ravana could have escaped that battlefield. Because Sita, she stands, because nobody can understand Sita. Her name is Shri, S-H-R-I, the very embodiment of Lakshmi. Even the Hanuman Chalisa begins with Shri Guru. The Guru takes blessings from Shri. So Sita says, oh Ram, you may shoot an arrow to scare them away, if I'm around, but don't kill anybody when I'm here. And Rama says, okay, no problem, Sita, I will not kill anything. Then from this moment, they take their leave and they go deeper into the forest. Valmiki says they spent 10 years at one place, they spent a year at another place in Chitrakuta, and they so moved about. Remember, this is a jungle. There's no hotel, there's no apartment building, there's nothing like that. You have to build your own cottage. You have to gather barks and leaves, and you have to do all the work yourself. Imagine organizing one hut, then moving to a next hut, then moving to a next hut. This is the pain that Rama had to endure. But he is the Lord of the universe. He will do whatever it takes to fulfill the blessings of his devotees. Then, Sri Ram has to meet with one final sage. This sage is called Agastya Muni. Now, why did Sri Rama to meet with him? It is stated that Agastya Muni was a very brilliant sage, and the demons were terrified of him. They were actually very scared of him. They would never go and torment his ashram because he had so many things there. He had missiles and weapons and arrows and bows, and the demons were very scared of him. So Rama had to go and take some teachings from Agastya Muni to go into the battle of life. And Agastya Muni says, oh Rama, I am so happy you are here. Through my spiritual vision, I know who you are. You are Narayana. I know who Sita is. I know how this whole story is going to play out. Oh Rama, go to Panchavati. Go construct your hut there. There is a beautiful Godavari river, and there is beautiful sights there for Sita Mata to enjoy. And this is an important fact. Agastya Muni, he knows the entire Ramayana. And here he tells Rama, go to Panchavati where all the peace, all the happiness is there. So Rama, he hears this and he goes to Panchavati. He goes to Panchavati, and there Lakshmana constructs a beautiful home, a beautiful cottage. And in this cottage there was a room, there was a kitchen, and everything you could have ever think about that is there in a home, that cottage had it. It so happened that one day while Sita, Ram and Lakshmana, one evening, like about 10 o'clock in the night time, one important event happens. And this is where the Aranyaka takes a toll on all of us. This is where the character now is being introduced to the Ramayana. Who is this character? What does she have to offer to the Ramayana? Tulsidas does not hesitate as he pens these beautiful words. Surpanakha Ravanaka bhane Dushtar dayadha runajasi ahi Panchavati soi gayi bara Deki bikara bhai jugalara Shri Ram Jai Prata Pita Putra Putra Udhari Purusha Manohar Nikatan Nari Hoi Vikala Sakha Mahi Roki Jini Ravi Mani Dhavar Viloki प्रभु पही जाहि ऋषि रूप धारी प्रभु पही जाहि बोल बचन माधुर मुस्काई बोल बचन माधुर मुस्काई बोले शूर्पणखा वन कही वाणी दुष्ट हृदय दारुण जसियाहि. There was a Rakshasi by the name of Surpanakha, and she was the sister of Ravana. And while she was walking and she saw it hot and she saw diyas lit up there, remember there was no electricity, they had to light diyas to get light. She saw the cottage there, and when she approached, she saw one very tall, handsome man outside of the cottage who resembles that of the lotus-like clouds, the filled rain clouds. And there she started to get enchanted by the sight of Rama. She changed her swarupa, her rupam, into that of a beautiful damsel, and she went to Rama. Are Rama, who are you? You look so very handsome and tall. Please tell me, what are you doing in this forest? Please tell me, let us go away from here right now. Surpanakha proposed without even a ring. Rama, let me marry you. Let us go away from here. Rama ignored. Are, I am Rama. I am here with my wife Sita inside the hut. And there is my brother Lakshmana, my younger brother Lakshmana. I am already married to Sita, and I cannot have more than one wife. But you see, my brother Lakshmana, he is without his wife. Why don't you go and ask him? So Surpanakha, remember, this is a Rakshasi, a demon. A demon will see something, easily want it, and when he doesn't want it, he'll go to the next. So she went to Lakshmana. Lakshmana, you yourself is so handsome. Lakshmana had the complexion of the white skin. So she said, Lakshmana, you yourself, you're the younger brother of Ravana, of Ram, and you are so very handsome. Will you marry me? Lakshmana says, Are, you see, I'm washing spoons here for Rama. I'm washing pots. You see all those diyas, I have to make them. You see this house, I have to build them. If you marry me, you also have to help me do the same thing. So Surpanakha, she says, I don't know. What is this? Rama is refusing, and look at my form, I'm so beautiful. How could they resist this beauty? Lakshmana refused it. It was that moment when Sita came out. And when Sita came out, Surpanakha saw Sita. Wow! She is the very personification of beauty. This is Lakshmi Mata herself. This is the reason why Rama and Lakshmana is rejecting my offer. It is because of this Sita that is here. And Surpanakha, she changed her form from that damsel to a Rakshasa, and her long nails started to come out. Her hair was grey, as we say. It was different place. It is a demon. She only wanted to go into the forest and to kill everyone. And there, she pounced on Sita. She wanted to go kill Sita. And Lakshmana, he, using his speed, his training in the Gurukul, he takes out his sword and he cuts out her nose and her ears. And Surpanakha, blood oozing from her face, she quickly ran away from there. She's thinking in her mind, these two men, they cannot be ordinary men who are living here in the forest. And she's thinking in her mind, Are, what to do now? They have cut off my nose, they've cut off my ears, what to do now? And she's thinking, Are, this Rama and Lakshmana, they're not easy persons. And this is an important point. Surpanakha's brother, who is Ravana, Khara and Dushana, they had all come together and they had killed Surpanakha's husband. Surpanakha was married, and Ravana, Khara and Dushana, they had killed Surpanakha's husband. And Surpanakha, she was a sister. She really couldn't overpower the older brothers. She didn't have any power to kill them. So she's thinking, this Rama and Lakshmana, they are perfect people to kill these three people whom I have always wanted to kill. This is how a Rakshasa thinks. She is using Rama and Lakshmana as a tool in war to subjugate her own kill list. So she's thinking, Khara, Bhushana, Ravana, these three people I want dead. So what does she do? She goes to first Khara and Bhushana. She goes to the lesser beings. She doesn't want to go to Ravana first. She wants to go and she wants to start slowly. She wants to enjoy this painful process. And this is coming straight from Valmiki Ramayan. How the mind of somebody could be so twisted. She goes to Khara and Bhushana. Who has cut off your nose like this? One very tall, handsome man has done this. Imagine somebody cut off or somebody attack you, right? And somebody asks you, who has done this to you? And you have to describe them and say, one very beautiful woman or one very handsome man. How would you feel? So Surpanakha, she was embarrassed. Even the enemy she has to praise. One very tall, handsome man has done this to me. And Khara and Bhushana, they says, okay, I will go and avenge you. He gathers all of his army men. They travel into Janastan. And Rama hears the trembling footsteps of them. He says, Are Lakshman Bhaiya, please take Sita away from here. The demons have come to fight. Rama goes, he takes his bow. And he says, oh demons, surrender, or you will reach your death. The demons did not surrender. And Rama, he takes his bow and arrow. And he starts killing all of them one by one. He kills 1,399. The last one, he saw Rama was so powerful, he took a sari, draped his body around it, and he ran away. He said, Rama will not kill any female. So he ran away from the battlefield. So he killed 1,399 demons. One demon left back. One demon left back and ran to Ravana. Ravana, in Janastan, there's Ram, Lakshmana, and Sita. They have destroyed your entire board there. And you're chillaxing here, doing nothing. Ravana hears this for the first time. Now, in this battle that Rama fought, today we watch Hollywood movies and Bollywood movies, especially Bollywood movies. And you will see the hero, he will have one gun with 2 bullets. Right? One gun with 2 bullets. He will walk into a big place with people with machine guns. And that hero will come out alive and kill all of them. I think this is where they took inspiration from. Because Rama, one man against so many people, he equally defeated them. And Valmiki says that Rama's body was actually bleeding. He was actually cut up. It didn't describe him as being the fearless one. He was equally injured also. And when Sita saw Rama, Rama, look at what the demons have done to you. Your body is oozing with blood. Sita embraced Rama. Why? Because she is called Ma. She's called Janani, the one whose herbs are within her. She's called Maithili, the one who has come from the earth. We all know that story when Janak was digging the dirt, right, with the shovel and the box came out. So Sita Mata, she was mother, she was daughter of Mother Earth. So she embraced Rama and says, Rama, your blood is oozing, I will help you. And it was then all of the blood started to go away from her, from him. Then news reaches Ravana that Janastan has been destroyed. Ravana says, don't worry about it. Put more spies there. Update me what is happening. He didn't pay much heed to anything because Surpanakha did not come to him yet. This was the one person who ran away from the battlefield. Now it is this moment that Surpanakha, she still has her kill list. Kara, dead. Dushana, dead. Ravana, still alive. Let me go to Ravana's kingdom now. So Surpanakha, she goes into Ravana's kingdom and she insults, she puts a thrashing on Ravana. Vigrahi yuktaha charati chapraha kadam raja. Oh, you terrible king, you childish king, you are here drinking whiskey. This is what the Valmiki says. You are here drinking sharabi and you don't even know what is happening in Janastan. Your enemy is there, Rama and Lakshmana, they destroy the entire Janastan and you're here doing nothing about it. And Ravana, he hears this and his eyes turn bloody red. He lifts his eyebrows and he says, Are Surpanakha, why are you covering your nose? Why is that sari draped around your ears? And Surpanakha, she puts down her hand and she takes out the sari and she says, That is what Rama and Lakshmana has done to me. Now Surpanakha, now Ravana, he saw what has happened to Surpanakha, and he says, don't worry, I will avenge you. And Surpanakha says, no Rama, no Ravana, don't go now. You will fail. You will fail in fighting Rama. Now Ravana, when he hears these words, his ego starts to boil up. What do you mean? I am Dasa Sisa, I am Dasa Ganda, I can kill him anytime. Surpanakha says, no, don't go for Rama. Go for Sita itself. Rakshasi tvam tu bala swabhacha buddhi hinaha tatta kanchana varaha abha rakta tunga naki shubha vaidehi varno tanu madhyame Sita namaha. Go for Sita. Now why did Surpanakha tell Ravana to go for Sita? Because if Ravana had gone straight into to fight Rama, Rama would not have killed him. Because he had not done anything to him. Remember Sita's demand earlier? Don't kill without enmity. That was her thing. So Surpanakha is thinking, I cannot send him alone. Go for Sita. Now this is moment where Ravana, now it's a very long story, but you enjoying so far? Hopefully. This is where now Ravana, he hears, he goes now to Maricha. Maricha was his uncle. Maricha was a person who has ability to transform himself to look like anything. You all know this. And Maricha, he goes to Maricha and he says, Maricha, I have a plan for you. I want you to come help me to destroy Rama and Lakshmana. Maricha says, no, I will not help you, no way. When I was younger and Rama was 12 years of age, he was protecting Vishwamitra Yagya. And Rama had took his own bow and shot me, and I had pitched from a very far distance. And from that day, all I can see is black and white. Black for Rama and white for Lakshmana. So Maricha says, no Ravana, do not go and kill Rama, don't tempt him. He is powerful. Then Ravana says, Are Maricha, you're trying to be my guru? I have given you everything, you're trying to be my guru? I will kill you right here if you do not go with me. Now Maricha is thinking, if I don't go with this Ravana, he will kill me right here. But if I go with him, then Rama himself will kill me. This is the feeling that Maricha had. It is better to die at the hands of Ram than God. Because Rama is the only one who can take a bullet and an arrow and kill you and do the best for you. No other man can do that. So Maricha is thinking, for this to happen, I need your help, Maricha. And Maricha says, okay, I will help you. I want to die at the hands of Rama. Maricha goes and he transforms himself to look like a beautiful deer. And when that deer came by the surrounding pond, the other deers that were next to that deer, they ran away. Because the other deers could know that this was not a regular deer, that this deer was a Rakshasa. And Sita saw the deer and she got extremely enticed with it. And she said, oh Rama, 13 years of living in the forest is almost over, and you see that deer? It has beautiful gems on it. We're about to go back to Ayodhya. Please bring that deer for me. I want to take it back to Ayodhya with me. I want to have that deer. Rama says, okay, no problem. I will go and I will fetch that deer for you. But Rama and Lakshmana, they had a talk before, and Lakshmana says, oh Rama, that deer looks very suspicious. I have never seen a deer with gold and diamond and emerald before. That this looks like a very suspicious deer. Please have close eyes. So Rama went, and it was then that Maricha starts shouting, Ha Lakshman, Ha Sita. And that is when Ravana comes and he abducts Sita Mata. He abducts Sita Mata. He takes her, remember, we all know and we're all familiar with Lakshmana taking his arrow and making a line around that cottage. But in Valmiki Ramayana, there is no mention of that. It is Ravana was an astrologer, and he found a Vindhya Tithi. There was a Tithi called Vindhya Tithi, that whatever you do in this Tithi, in this lapse of time, it will be successful. So he found that perfect Tithi. So it was that when Ravana was so successful in abducting Sita. And Sita saw Ravana, he transformed himself to look like a monk, and he went in, and then he snatched the hand of Sita, and then he took her away. While Ravana is taking Sita away. Sita utters these words. She says, "Oh Ravana, how dare you try to kidnap me? I am the devoted wife of Rama. I am the lioness and you are a jackal. You cannot have me. I am the sun's radiance that you cannot touch. You are seeking to pull out the fangs of a very venomous snake. You are seeking to pull out the fangs of a hungry lion. You cannot take me. You are rubbing your eyes with a needle, O Ravana. You are rubbing your tongue against a very sharp razor. How dare you commit such an act? O Ravana, you are drinking the deadliest of poisons. The difference between you and Rama is the difference between Chandan water and mud water. I don't know about you, but I would never drink mud water. So this is the word that echoed into Ravana's ears, but Ravana still did not heed to any of this. The difference between you and Rama, O Ravana, is the difference between gold and lead. You cannot have me. Ravana's eyes started to change very red out of anger. Jatayu comes and he was waiting for he knew Jatayu was also a very sagacious man, a very brilliant man. He knew that this was the Vindhya Tithi. So for 48 minutes, Jatayu was there trying to kill Ravana just to let that Tithi pass. Jatayu knew he could not be successful in killing Ravana. Ravana was a powerful man, but he was just waiting for that Tithi to pass. Jatayu's katha is so wonderful. Many things we learn from Jatayu. It is better to die on the battlefield than to not do anything at all. Jatayu had a moment he had to fight, and he got up and he fight. Sita Mata, she is crying. I want all of you to picture. This is a wife who has left the comforts of her home just to come into this, forest and hear somebody taking her away. We are told so very beautifully by the Ramacharitra what happens as Ravana is pulling on his Airavata, on his chariot. Sita starts to distress. Sita hi jana chalahi bahurai chal utale trasana tora Shri Ram Jaya Ram. Asoka Ahura Bhai Raghupati Anujavati Deki. As Sita was going in the air, she saw a group of monkeys there. Are, why are they helping me? She turned to the ocean. The ocean, please tell Rama where I am. Please tell Rama where I am going. She started crying profusely. This is the heart that Ravana had. You know what Ravana's name in Sanskrit? The one who makes another person cry. He made Sita Mata cry. And there is no act as much more act than such an act to hold someone like this. And Sita started crying. Lakshmana and Ravana and Ram, they're still on the other side. They ran back and they saw the fruit scattered. They saw, where is Sita? Rama starts crying to everywhere. Hey Sita, are you playing a trick on me? Come out. Where are you? He kagamriga he madhukar snehi tum dekhi Sita manamai. Oh birds, oh trees, oh beasts, have you seen Sita? Ha gun kawani Janaki Sita. And the only response that Ram ever had from the trees, from the oceans, from the birds, was deafening silence. Deafening silence. Here is a man with a question. Where is Rama? And nobody seems to have the answer. Ram starts to lose his cool. Who has taken my dear Sita? And he does not even know she's already traversed one whole ocean already. How will Rama? Rama did not have any warriors. He only had his dear brother Lakshmana with him. How will I go about? How can I live without Sita? How can I? Ha guna rupa Lakshmana bahi. Oh Lakshmana, I told you to protect Sita. What are you doing here? Out of anger, Ram says, Puchat chalilata tarupam te ekagamrigahe madhukar shri. Everyone together? Shri Ram Jai Ram. How many of us sometimes we look for Ram and we look for Sita? Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Everyone, Shri Ram Nobody could have helped him. Sita, when she was thinking, she took out her bangles and she dropped it. Hopefully Rama will find them. Somebody will find it. When there is nothing else to do, we take out whatever we have on us, we throw it on the ground. Kaikeyi Mata did the same in Ramacharita, and here Sita is doing the same. She started taking out everything. Hope Rama will leave trace from me. And I think this is where Hansel and Gretel took the idea from, to leave traces behind. So Sita started dropping everything. And Rama is still braving. Lakshmana calms down. And this is what we need to understand. Rama came with a purpose to be a human being. We're all human beings here. How many of us here can see the future, see the past, see the present? The human nature, some of us can go beyond that nature like rishis can. But as a human nature, as a manush, we don't know what the future has in store for us. So Ram was just playing his part in this divine Leela, like how we also play our part in this Leela. Then Jatayu was lying there on the ground, and Jatayu gave hope to Rama and Lakshmana. And this is where Ram actually performed the final rites for Jatayu. When you lose your life for Rama, Ram himself will come and perform your tarpan. He buried him and summoned all of the Sapta Gangas and gave Jatayu moksha. Why? Because he was so kind-hearted. And this is where Jatayu tells, "Oh Ram, there is one person you have to meet. And this person will tell you exactly where you need to go and where to find Sita. And this is where Katha is coming close to an end. As the Aranyakand, Sri Ram meets one very important individual. And who is this person that Rama meets? I think we've all come out here tonight just to hear her name. Because her name is an icon. We look up to her. Why do we look up to her? She shows us absolute trust in the words of the Guru. Let us listen to this final kahani. As Rama has now regained his hope that he will find Sita, he has to go meet with his devotees. He knows Sita is there, and he goes and he meets with this one individual. Who does he meet? What do we have to learn from this person? Tulsidas tells us. Shabari dekhi Rama duhari, mujhe bachan sochiya bhari. Shri Ram लोचन बाहु विशाला जटामुख सिरौरा बनमाला श्याम गौर सुंदर गवाई शबरी परिचरण लपतई आई श्री राम There was one very beautiful old lady. She was very old, like from a young girl. And I remember in the beginning I had mentioned this world has been made up with cosmic rules and laws. Here is one such law that's been demonstrated. Actually, all of the laws have been demonstrated in Shabari Mata. What law do we have? We have the law of Sankalp, manifesting. The Guru had told Shabari Mata herself, one day, the Guru didn't say exactly when, one fine day, Rama will come. And that word alone she took. And every single day, her archana, she picked fruits, she picked flowers, and every single day she would sweep the path and just wait for Rama to come. And so happened one day, every single day she would wake up thinking that Rama is coming. And when Rama didn't come, she would not say anything, she would never be disappointed, she would never do anything. She said, okay, Rama will come tomorrow. Rama will come tomorrow. Rama will definitely reach me one day. And one day she was just sweeping the ground, and she was on her knees. Oh, everyone in the village disrespected her. Are Rama will really come and meet you? Rama will not come and meet you. We're doing everything every day. Rama will come to us. You are an old woman, you will die. Rama will never come to meet you. And one day, so fine day, as she's just there sweeping the ground, she saw beautiful, majestic feet. Now this is the feet she's been waiting for all her life. And there she saw the feet and she immediately recognized, and she looked up and she saw Ram and she said, oh Ram, you are here. You wait one moment. Let me think about my Guruji. This is the quality of devotion that Shabari Mata exemplified. She says, God, I forget about you. I want to remember my Guru. My Guru had told me the exact same words, that you will come. Sarisajro chana pahu bisala. Jata mukta sira ura banamala. She saw Lakshmana and Rama and she got so enticed, so attracted to the feet of Shabari Mata. She was, "Hey Rama, come, let me put you inside." Rama had to bend to go into the hut. This is how God sometimes would bend just to come into our home. He will bend to us. We might be old, we might be young, we might be middle-aged. God will bend for us. Ram bends and he goes into the ashram. She starts washing the feet of Ram and she cannot help but chant the name of Ram. She got engraced. And she washed the feet and she asked a few questions to Rama. And she actually said these very painful words, "O Rama, adhama te adhama adhama atinari. I am nothing. I have not come out of a good caste. I have not come out of a good home. I have nothing. Adhama te adhama adhama atinari. I am the lowest of the lowest of the lowest." And Rama says, "No, Shabari, you are the highest. Kaha Raghupati sunu bhai. In your mind, you think you are the lowest, but in my eyes, you are the personification of beauty. And oh Shabari, take it my words, that your name will rattle throughout the world from this day. When you attach yourself to the Lord, fame naturally comes. Prosperity naturally comes. Everything naturally comes. Don't go chase anything." Shabari Mata never left at home. Every single day she did the exact same thing in that home, and everything naturally started to gravitate towards her because she had everything inside. She raised her own vibration, and she was actually a master Vedantic student. And here, Rama hears these words, "Adhama tema adhama," and he's thinking, how can I change Shabari Mata's perception? She thinks she's the lowest, but in fact she's the highest. And this is where Rama puts Shabari on top. And he asks, "Oh Shabari Mata, have you seen Sita? Have you seen my Sita? I've been looking for her all along. Jatayu says to come here to come to you for advice, and here I am." And Shabari smiles and he says, "Oh Ram, today everyone in the village, they said such bad things about me, but here Lord of the universe is asking me a question. He's asking me. I thought I was adhamate, adhama tinari. I am the lowest of the lowest. But here's Ram putting her on top and says, "No, Maya, you are the highest. Tell me where my Sita is. Mere Sita kahai." And Shabari smiles and she says, "There is one monkey by the name of Sugriva. He is living there in that place of Rishamukh mountains. And what happens next, you will have to come back tomorrow night and listen to our Vyasi. Our Vyasi for tomorrow, I believe, will be our Reverend Pandit Mahadev Persaud. Jai Sita Ram Panditji. Please come out tomorrow to listen to Kishkindarkar. Before we conclude tonight's pravachan, what are some important life lessons and facts that this Ramacharita has to offer? You see, this Shabari Katha, I will say, I put this Katha close to my heart because this Katha is so beautiful. One child came up to me and he says, "Panditji, I want to pray, but genuinely I don't know how to pray. Can you give me some advice on how to pray? Everybody is telling me I should close my hands and pray like this, but I don't know any mantra, I don't know anything. Please tell me, how should I pray?" This is a very good question, So I said, you do one thing. The mind is very difficult to put under control. The mind is like a monkey sometimes. It only wants to jump and jump and jump and jump to different places. So one very good thing that you should also keep in mind is if you take an agarbatti and you light that agarbatti, put it in front of you, and you sit down in a meditative posture. Until that agarbatti finishes out, you memorize Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. And just chant Om Gam Ganapati Namaha until that agarbatti burns out. Until that burns out, you put the next one, Om Eng Saraswati Namaha. You chant all the mantra. If you don't want to hold a bead, if you don't feel like you fast, if you don't feel like you don't want to pray, just do that agarbatti. It's a wonderful technique to put your mind on God. As a young person growing up in society, sometimes you would want to see proof, you want to see God. But God cannot be seen. You want to see God? Go look in the mirror. It's a true fact. So to really put your mind, like how Shabari Mata put her mind, you take agarbatti and burn it and just chant the name of Rama or Sita or pick whatever manifestation. And there's so much Bij mantras that you could pick, very short. Ain Saraswati Namaha, Om Ramaya Namaha, so many powerful names. And when you chant this name, you're changing your reality. You're channeling all of the blessings from the cosmos to come into your life so that good things can happen, good things can take place. Life itself is a miracle, and you should not waste it. Like when you touch a river, that river is running, right? You touch the water already moved on. Can you retouch it? No. So the present, you can only touch it while you have it right now. So you can only live in the present moment. So this Aranyakan has been so powerful for all of us this evening. Let us all close our eyes as we conclude tonight's wonderful pravachan. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamasu Ma Vidvishavahai Swasti Prajabhaya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahishaha Go Brahmaneshu Masrunyam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Before I hand the microphone over, I would like all of you to kindly stand. All of you kindly stand as we will give a thunderous applause. Except the kids and everybody in here. And we will all put our hands together to give Ramayan in the park a thunderous round of applause for their wonderful work, what they have been doing every single year to make sure to ensure that Rama Katha comes out to all of us. Prem for Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. You may all have your seats. Over to our respective Pandit.
My dear brothers and sisters, our Vyasa has taken us tonight. It's a journey into the forest, the Aranya forest of the Ramayana, the Valmiki Ramayana and the Sri Ram Tirthamanas. And he told the story very well, as you can actually follow him, as we follow Sri Ram into the forest, performing his leelas, his exploits, and fulfilling the purpose of his coming to the world. Now there's a very beautiful doha in the Uttarakhand of the Ramayana. Bhakt he tu Bhagavan Prabhu Rama Devta Ruphu ki charit pavan param prakrit nar anurup. Bhakt he tu Bhagavan Prabhu Ram Devta Ruphu. For the sake of the devotees, the primary reason for the Lord coming to the world, for the sake of his devotees, for you and me, for all those things when he redeemed in the forest, and where he went, for our sake, for their sake, the Lord incarnated, he took this form. For the sake of justice in the world, truth and justice, he takes up his arrow and bow, and he defeats unrighteousness in order to preserve dharma, righteousness. And that's primarily the reason he went to the forest. Last night, our Vyasi was telling us about Sri Ram's banishment into the forest. We were looking at Kaikeyi. And Kaikeyi, he saw this Sri Ram the greatest favor, because she sent him to the forest. And if he didn't go to the forest, Ravana would still be alive today, and there would be no meeting with Sri Hanumanji. So everything happens for a reason. So tonight, we listen to our Vyasi, our young, vibrant Vyasi, taking us on the journey into the Aranyakan. And you look at some very important characters that he mentioned in the Ramayana. Amongst them, Sutikshan, Agasyamuni, Atri. He mentioned also about Jatayu, trying to save Sita in mid-air, and his wings were chopped off by Rama, and he fell to the ground, and he awaits near Sri Rama before he could breathe his last. And then finally, we've heard about Shabari, this female devotee of Prabhu Sri Ram. And of course, her name becomes a great emblem in the Ramayana, especially in the Aranya, and she's a gem of the Aranya, the gem of the forest. There's a very beautiful chaupai in that same passage that Vyasi read to us, where when Shabari confesses, she's very apologetic about her status, about her dull-wittedness, and about her low birth. Adam te Adam Adam Adilai, I am the lowest amongst the low, and I'm still dull-witted. And Sri Ram takes the opportunity to respond to that. And you see, when he responds, he's talking to you and me. You know what he said when he told Shabari, and when he's telling all of us? He says, Jati Pati Kul Dharma Dharai, Dhan Bal Parijan Gun Chaturai, Bhakti Hidan Sohata Kaisa, Bin Jal Bhar Dekhi Jaisa. And this is important, because he says, one's pedigree, one's status, one's birth, one's accomplishments, one's wealth, one's position in society, none of this matters to me. Oh, noble lady, oh, Bhami, most beautiful lady. They're really important. You see, the yardstick that we use to grade and measure each other. If a person is wealthy, oh, that he is highly respected because he got a lot of money. He lives in a mansion, oh, this man, he's a great man. He drives a sports car, oh, he's a rich person. You have eyes turning. Sri Ram does not use that yardstick. He says, in his own words, that if a person having all these things does not have devotion in his heart, love in his heart for God, bhakti he is just like Binajal Bar Vadiki Jaisa, like a cloud without water. Now, like in drought, and then everybody wants it to rain, and then you look up and you see a rain cloud there in the sky, and you jump for joy, it's going to rain, and then lo and behold, there is no rain. So the cloud has a form, it has a name, but it has no content. So that is how we are. If you have everything, but you have no devotion for God. So Shabari here stands as this brightest jewel in the Ramayana, as the embodiment of love, of devotion, the way as Vyasi explained to us, the way she received the Sri Ram, the preparedness for this meeting to happen, her insistence, her faith and loyalty in her Guru's words, and her patience, most of all, enabled that meeting to happen. And Sri Ram came and she washed his feet and performed all these forms of reverence and adoration to the Lord. So this Aranyakan is so beautiful. And Vyasi, of course, took us on a journey through the different episodes of the chapter, so that all of us can be here with a good understanding of Sri Ram's exploits as he ventured into the forest. And of course, Surpanakha tempting Sri Ram and Ravan, and of course meeting her fate at his hands, and all these parts of the story as well. So I think the young Vyas, he's the youngest Vyas today, he has a very far way to go. He's the first chance here he's getting, and he's done very well tonight, don't you think so?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, we want to thank you very much, Vyasi, young Pandit Dhruvishkar Persaud, and we look forward now to tomorrow evening, though this Vyas is not so young as this Vyas, but Mahadevi, he'll be bringing us the virtues of Kishkindakan tomorrow. And Kishkindakan is a very interesting chapter of the Ramayana as well, because it is there where Hanumanji meets with Sri Ram. So it's very important. Vyasi, he knows what he's going to tell us. I'm as anxious as you are to listen to more what we're going to hear from Kishkindakan. Then I'll be followed on Thursday evening by young Pandit Vishnu Ramprasad. Thursday is Sri Krishna Janmashtami, so you can come spend Janmashtami here as well, because we're going to have a Hamak, we were up in Hamak here. In addition to Sundar Khan, the Vyasi will also expound a little from the Srimad Bhagavatam as well. So that is a treat. I'll be here on Thursday also partly before I go to our Mandir for Sri Krishna Janmashtami celebration. So please join us tomorrow night for Pandit on Thursday night for Vishnu Ramprasad. On Friday, we will listen to Acharya Arun Gosai, who is the son of the late Sri Prakash Gosai. And he's officiated here a number of years, 2 times at Ramayana Park. So he will also be officiating this coming Friday. And on Saturday will be yours truly. And on Sunday morning, this young Pandit here, Prakash Lakshminarayan, will conclude with the Gita Mahatmya and Purnavati. So this is our itinerary for the rest of the week. I sincerely want to thank all of you for your presence here each night. I'm pretty sure you're enjoying Ramayana Park. That's why you keep coming every night. And there's much more to enjoy for the rest of the week. So we expect to see you here for all these sessions. Please bring a friend with you. Spread the word. Social media. Use your phone. Encourage others to come. That this is Ayodhya that we are recreating here. Come to Ayodhya each night. Bask in the glories of the Ramayana. Bask in the glories of our Lord Sri Ram. Leave here feeling fulfilled, feeling satisfied, saturated and blessed by Sri Ram. What a good feeling when you go home to your bed and you retire to your bed to sleep at night. You felt, I went to satsang, I listened to the Ramayana, I chanted and sang the glories of Sri Ram, and then you drift off peacefully into the realms of Ayodhya. And you look forward again tomorrow to come back and join us again for another session. So thank you very much. And once again, put your hands together for Yati Maharaj. And I know how proud his father Pandit Chandradat is. In fact, I requested Pandit Chandradat to officiate tonight. And Pandit Chandradat said, I think I'll pass it on to my son. So give him a chance. So, and indeed, he did a fabulous job here tonight. So we have a few minutes, and we will have 2 bhajans. We need a few minutes remaining. We're going to wrap it up approximately before 9:30 tonight. So we'll listen to Baluji will do a bhajan for us, and Matthew will sing for us as well, the talented young man. And then after that, we'll all stand for our arati.
Thank you.